Morning everyone and Sairam. In previous video we have done part 6 of Is Matter Around Us, and we have covered the topics how you can separate the mixture of two solid. So first we do revision of that. After that we will start part 7 of this chapter. So there are how many ways by which you can separate the mixture of solid and solid? There are 3 ways by which you can separate the mixture of solid and solid. What they are? Number 1, by using suitable solvent. Number 2, by using sublimation. And number 3, by using magnet. So let us start with how you can separate the mixture of two solid by using suitable solvent. What is the condition for this? The condition is one constituent should not be dissolved in that particular solvent. That means one substance should undissolved in suitable solvent. For example, if you want to separate out sand and sugar, okay, what you want to separate? You want to separate sugar and sand. So which solvent you will be used? You will use water as a solvent. Why? Because we know that in water sugar will dissolve and sand will not dissolve. So when you will add water as a solvent and you will stir with the help of stirrer, what will happen? Yes, after some time sugar will dissolve in water and sand will remain as it is. And when you will filter it, what will happen? The residue of sand will remain in the filter paper and sugar will come with the water. After that, what you have to do? You will evaporate. Like this, you can separate the mixture of two solid by using suitable solvent. If, for example, if you want to use what? If you want to separate salt and sugar, can you use water as a solvent? No, you cannot use water as a solvent. Why? Because in water, sugar and salt both are dissolved. Clear? So, if you want to separate two solid mixture by using suitable solvent, you have to check whether both it should be necessary that both the substance should not be dissolved in the solvent. Clear? Now second is by using the sublimation. Clear? What do you mean by sublime? Sublime are those substances which directly converted from solid to gas or from gas to solid. Clear? For this this type of separation, if one substance will be sublime and one substance should not be sublime, you can use this process. For example, if you want to separate out salt and ammonium chloride, we all know that ammonium chloride is sublime. Ammonium chloride is sublime. If you want to take a mixture in a china dish, salt and sublime, and you will apply heat from the bottom and you will put inverted funnel, and that top of the end you will cover with the rubber. What will happen? That ammonium chloride will come as a vapor and it will stick with the funnel and it will stuck over there. When you will cool it, that vapor will convert into solid and you will scratch with the help of spatula and you will get back that ammonium chloride. So like this you can separate the mixture, two solid mixture in which one substance will be sublime. Clear? So if you want to use the sublimation process for separation, what is the condition? Out of two, one substance should be sublime. Then and then only you can use this method. And the last one is by using magnet. For this, what is the condition? As we all know that magnet attract the iron. So it is compulsory that in the mixture iron should be there. And if you want to separate out that iron, what you will do, you will take the magnet and what that magnet will do? Magnet will attract all the iron. Clear? Like this you can separate the mixture in which iron present. So with this I think everything is clear to you. So let us start with the part 7. The topics which we are going to cover are: in previous video we have done separation of mixture of a two solid substance. In this we will do separation of a mixture of a solid and a liquid. That means in this one substance will be liquid and one substance will be solid. So there are 6 methods. How many methods are there? There are 6 methods. Number 1 by filtration, number 2 by centrifugation, number 3 by evaporation, number 4 by crystallization, number 5 by chromatography, number 6 by distillation. Clear? How many methods are there? There are total 6 methods. What they are? Number 1 by filtration, number 2 by centrifugation, number 3 by evaporation, number 4 by crystallization, number 5 by chromatography, number 6 by distillation. These all are the method by which you can separate out the mixture of one solid and one liquid. Now we are going to study these methods in detail one by one. Let us start with by filtration. As we all know that filtration is very common word. Filtration means you will use filter like cloth, okay, tea filter. These all are the equipments which you can use as a equipment of filtration. So read this: the process of removing insoluble solid. The process of removing insoluble solids from a liquid by using filter paper. By using filter paper is known as filtration. What do you mean by filtration? The filtration is a process in which you will separate out a insoluble solid. You will separate out a insoluble solid from a liquid. For example, if you will take a mixture of sand and water. As we all know that sand is insoluble in water. If you will stir it with the help of stirrer, is it dissolved in water? No, that sand will not dissolve in water. Then what you will do? You will take a funnel. You will put a filter paper inside that funnel. See, like this. Like this. This is your funnel and this is a mixture of solid and liquid. You can take at this sand and water. Clear? Now this is your what? Funnel. Inside the funnel, have you seen this white color paper? This is your filter paper. You have to put filter paper like this. After that, what you will do? You will pour this liquid to the funnel. What will happen? That water will go down and collect it over the beaker, and that sand will remain as a residue in a filter paper. Like this, you can separate out a mixture of one solid and one liquid by the help of filtration. Clear? So listen carefully, I am reading. The process of removing insoluble solids from a liquid by using a filter paper is known as filtration. Clear? Filtration is used for separating insoluble substance from a liquid. This is a separation technique. In the separation technique, what you will do? You will separate out. Okay. So the mixture of insoluble solid and the liquid is poured into filter paper, comes fixed in a funnel by using a glass rod. I think this point is very clear to you. Shall we move ahead? Now the liquid passes through the filter paper and collects in the beaker kept below the funnel as is shown in the figure. The solid particles do not pass through the filter paper and remain behind on the filter paper. Clear? The solid substance left behind on the filter paper is called residue. Whatever substance that remain in the filter paper is known as your residue. What is residue? The solid substance left behind on the filter paper is called residue. Clear? Clear liquid obtained is called filtrate. Whatever substance you will get on the beaker, clear liquid, and that liquid is known as your filtrate. I think the difference between residue and filtrate is clear to you. The substance which will remain in the filter paper, that substance is known as residue, and the clear liquid which you will get in a beaker is known as your filtrate, clear? In this way, a mixture of insoluble solid and a liquid is separated out into a solid and a clear liquid. I think by filtration it is clear to you, and this is a method, or you can say that this is the apparatus which you are used for filtration method. Clear? Shall I explain once more? In this you will take a mixture. This is your funnel. In this you will put in this you will put a filter paper, and you will at down you will put a beaker, and when you will pour this liquid to this filter this funnel, what you will get filtrate. Clear liquid is known as your filtrate, and the whatever substance which will remain in the filter paper is known as your residue. I think this is clear to you. Shall we move to next method? See, some examples are there. A mixture of chalk and water is separated by filtration. A mixture of chalk and water is separated by filtration. Second, a mixture of sand and water is also separated by filtration. A heterogeneous mixture of a solid and a liquid can be separated by filtration. Filtration cannot remove any solid substance which are dissolved in a liquid. Clear? What are the example? A mixture of chalk and water is separated by filtration. A mixture of sand and water is also separated by filtration. A heterogeneous mixture of a solid and a liquid can be separated by filtration. Filtration cannot remove any solid substance which are dissolved in a liquid. See, if you want to filter out sugar from water, you can't filter with the help of filtration, because it will dissolve in a water. It will come down with the water. Clear? So this method you can use only when your solid is undissolved in a liquid. Clear? Shall we go ahead? Our next method is separation by centrifugation. What is our next method? Next method is separation by centrifugation. So let us start separation by centrifugation. See, first I will show the image of centrifugation machine. See, this is the machine of centrifugation. Clear? See it. Now what is this? Centrifugation is a method for separating the suspended particle of a substance from a liquid, in which the mixture is rotated or spun at a high speed in a centrifuge. See, we had in suspension particles, suspension in previous videos. Suspensions are those which looks like a homogeneous mixture, but they are not a homogeneous mixture. Example, blood, milk. These all are the example of suspension. So, if you are having suspension type of mixture, then you can use centrifugation as a separation technique. So, centrifugation is a method for separating the suspended particles of a substance from a liquid in which a mixture is. What you will do, you will take a mixture in a test tube like this. Okay, you will put inside the machine here, and opposite one water test tube. When you will rotate like this. It will rotate with a high speed. What will happen? That substance which is higher, density is high, it will settle down, and lighter one will come out. Clear? So, in the method of centrifugation, the mixture of fine suspended particle in a liquid is taken in a test tube, and that test tube is also known as your centrifuge test tube. Clear? What you will do, you will take a mixture in a centrifuge. Okay, the test tube is placed in a centrifuge machine. Clear? And rotate rapidly from the same time. Now, as a mixture rotates around rapidly, a force acts on the heavier suspended particle in it and bring them down to the bottom. I told you the heavier ones settle down and the lighter particles will come up. The clean liquid being lighter remains on the top. We can separate the clay particles suspended in water very rapidly by the method of centrifugation. See, this is your centrifugation machine, and before centrifugation your solution will look like this, your mixture will look like this. After centrifugation, what will happen? The heavier one will settle down and the lighter will come up. Clear? The process of centrifugation is used in dairies to separate cream from milk. Clear? At your home, your mama will make butter from milk cream. What they will do? They will put that cream in a mixture, that mixie jar, and that mixie jar rotate that mixture. Then the heavier particles will come down and the water will come up. Clear? So like this. And shall I read once more? I am reading, listen carefully. Centrifugation is a method for separating the suspended particle of a substance from a liquid, in which the mixture is rotated or spun at a high speed in a centrifuge. In the method of centrifugation, the mixture of fine suspended particle in a liquid is taken in a test tube called centrifuge tube. The test tube is placed in a centrifuge machine and rotated rapidly for the same time. As a mixture rotates around rapidly, a force acts on the heavier suspended particles in it and bring them down to the bottom of the best tube. The clear liquid being lighter remain on the top. Clear? The heavier will settle down and the lighter will come up. We can separate the clay particles suspended in water very rapidly by the method of centrifugation. Clear? Now, our next third method is by evaporation. Our third method is evaporation. This is very easy method and you know that how it takes place. Clear? The changing of liquid into vapors or a gas. What do you mean by evaporation? When your liquid changes into gas. When your liquid changes into gas is known as your evaporation. So what is our first point? Our first point is the changing of a liquid into vapors or a gas is called evaporation. Clear? Evaporation is used to separate solid substance that has dissolved in water or any other liquid. Why you use evaporation? In which condition you will use evaporation? When your solid substance will dissolve in a liquid solution, in a liquid. If it will not dissolve, what you will use a separation method of filtration. If it will dissolve, then you will use evaporation. The use of process of evaporation for separating a mixture is based on the fact that liquids will vaporize and solid do not vaporize easily. Why we will use this method? Because it is a fact that we know that liquid will vaporize easily. Liquid will vaporize easily and solid will not vaporize easily. So when you will use evaporation as a separation technique, what will happen? If you will take a mixture of solid and liquid, for example salt and water, what will happen? Water will vaporize and salt will remain as it is. So like this you can separate a mixture of solid and a liquid by using evaporation. Clear? Now next is example is, I gave you the example already. What is example? The example is the common salt dissolved in the water can be separated by the process of evaporation. I don't think so more explanation is required. Clear? Shall we go ahead? The process of evaporation is used on a large scale to obtain common salt from a seawater. Clear? Evaporation is used for recovering dissolved solid substance from a liquid mixture or solution, but the liquid itself cannot be recovered by this method. You can obtain solid, but you can't recover that liquid. That whatever liquid is evaporated, it goes. You will can't get it back. So the liquid vaporized get lost to the air. Where it will go? It will go lost to the air. See, I am reading once more. Listen carefully. The changing of a liquid into vapors, the changing of a liquid into vapors or a gas is called evaporation. Evaporation is used to separate solid substance that has dissolved in water or any other liquid. The use of process of evaporation for separating a mixture is based on the fact that liquids vaporize easily, whereas solids do not vaporize easily. The common salt in which water can be separated by the process of evaporation. Clear? The process of evaporation is used on a large scale to obtain common salt. Evaporation is used for recovering dissolved solid substance from a liquid mixture or solution, but the liquid itself cannot be recovered by this method. The liquid vaporizes and get lost to the air. Clear? Our fourth method is purification by crystallization. See, what do you mean by crystallization? The process of cooling a hot concentrated solution of a substance to obtain crystals is called crystallization. Clear? It is very important. If a question will come like this, what do you mean by crystallization? What you will write? You will write the process of cooling a hot concentrated solution. Here, one term is come, concentrated. What is that? We have done earlier. The meaning of concentrated is the amount of solute present in a more amount. Clear? And if you will cool it, whatever substance you will get, it is in a crystal form, and this process is known as your crystallization. This process is known as your crystallization. The process of crystallization is used for obtaining pure solid substance from impure substance. What you will get as a result in a crystallization process? You will get a pure solid as a result of crystallization. Now, how it will take place? This is done as follows. What you will do? You will take impure solid. Okay, you will add minimum amount of water and stir with the help of glass rod. Now that impure solid will dissolve in a water. Clear? This point is clear to you? The solution is filtered to remove insoluble impurities. The solution is filtered. Now what you will do? You will filter that solution. Whatever impurities is there, that will remain in the filter paper. That will remain in the filter paper. Now whatever clear solution you will get, you have to heat gently. Clear? Until and unless you will not get a concentrated solution. Clear? Or saturated solution is obtained. That means no more solute can dissolve. Now when you will get a saturated solution, what you will do? You will stop heating. What you will do? You will stop heating. As you stop heating, what will happen? Now allow to cool, then allow to cool that hot solution. What you will do? You will allow to cool that hot solution, and after some time you will see that some solid type of structure will form. That solid type of structure is known as your crystals. Clear? In this, separate crystals are pure solid by filtration and dry. See, first what you will do? You will take a mixture, impure solid, you will add, you will dissolve with the help of glass rod in water. You will apply heat. What will happen? Yes, you will get a concentrated solution or saturated solution. Allow to cool down. Here you will not lose your liquid. Clear? Now the next process is by chromatography. What is our next separation technique? Our next technique is by chromatography. What is our next technique? Our next technique is by chromatography. See, chromatography is a technique of separating two or more dissolved solid which are present in a solution. Here, not only one solid is dissolved, more than one solid is there. That means more than two or more. If you want to separate out more than two solids, then which technique you will use? You will use chromatography. There are different types of chromatography. But the paper one is very easy. The paper chromatography is very easy, and in your syllabus only paper chromatography is there. In your syllabus, which type of chromatography is there? Only paper chromatography. Clear? So what is our first point? Our first point is chromatography is a technique of separating two or more dissolved solid which are present in a solution in very small quantities. Clear? There are many types of chromatography, but the simplest form is the paper chromatography. By using paper chromatography, we can separate two different substances present in the same solution. I think these 3 points are very clear to you. Now, this separation is based on the fact that though two or more substances are soluble in the same solvent, say water, but their solubility may be different. Clear? For example, see, if you will take a mixture in which two or three substances are there, you will use water as a solvent. What you will do? What you will observe? That it is not compulsory that solubility of these all substances will be same in the water. Clear? It will be different. It is different. Now, some may be more soluble, others are less soluble. For example, if you will take black ink is a mixture of many colors. Clear? Black ink is a mixture of many colors. Now wait here. Now, some may be more soluble than others. For example, black ink contains a number of dyes dissolved in a water. These dyes have different solubility in water. This pack is used to separate dyes present in a black ink. Now how? See, this is your glass chamber. Clear? In one, you are using water as a solvent. You will take, this is your paper chromatography. This is a paper chromatography. Clear? Here you will drop one dot of your ink, and you will suspend it with like this, that paper will touch this solvent. The paper will touch this solvent. After some time, that this solvent will go up. If it will go up, this ink will come with that solvent. After some time, you will see that different color appear on the paper. Why? Because all the colors having different solubility in water. Like this, you can separate out the substance which is more soluble will separate first, and the substance which is less soluble will come last. Clear this thing? Shall we go ahead? So, what is the application of chromatography? Chromatography is used to separate solution of colored substance. If you want to separate out colored substance, you can use paper chromatography. Chromatography is used in a forensic science to identify trace amount of substance in contents of bladder or stomach, and chromatography is used to separate small amounts of product of chemical reaction. These all are the application of chromatography. The main application of chromatography is you can separate out colored substance. Clear? You have different types of chromatography, but the simplest one is paper chromatography. With the help of paper chromatography, you can separate out different solids or different substance. Clear? Because all the substance have different solubility in water. Clear? Shall we go ahead? The last one is separation by distillation. What is our last method? Separation by distillation. See, distillation is a process of heating a liquid to form vapor. What is a distillation? Distillation is a process of heating a liquid to form a vapor, and then cooling the vapor to get back liquid. The liquid obtained by condensing the vapor is called distillate. So, what is the distillation? The distillation is a process of heating a liquid to form vapor, then cooling the vapor to get back liquid. The liquid obtained by condensing the vapor is called distillate. The vapor is called distillate. From this discussion, what we have concluded? We have concluded that in order to obtain both solid as well as liquid from the mixture of a solid, that means in the process of evaporation you will not get back a liquid, but if you will use distillation as a separation technique, you will get back liquid also. Clear? Now see, before going to understand the process, first I will describe the process of distillation. We should know something about water condenser. Clear? Which is also known as Liebig condenser. The water condenser is a long glass tube surrounded by wider glass tube called water jacket. I will show you. Having an inlet and outer like this. It should be like this. One pipe is inside there and this is your water jacket. Clear? And one outlet is there and one inlet is there. During distillation, cold water from tap is circulated through the outer tube of the condenser. This takes place away heat from the hot vapor passing through the inner tube of the condenser and cause it condensation. Clear? So I will show the picture. See, this is your water condenser. This is your water condenser. This is your inlet. This is your outlet. This inlet will go to the tap and the outlet will go to the sink, and this is your water jacket. Inside this one pipe is there. Okay, clear? Here what will that water will run. Okay, water will running. Clear? And what the work of that water will, yes, lower the temperature. Whatever vapors will come here, the temperature will low here. That vapor will lose the heat and that will convert into liquid and it will collect it over here. Clear? Now see how distillation process take place. This is your round bottom flask. Here you will take a mixture, okay, of a solid and liquid. You will put a thermometer on it. This is your water condenser. One should be connected with the tap and another will go to the sink. Here you will put a beaker. Clear? Now when you will apply heat, the substance which having a low boiling point will start evaporating. Clear? When it will evaporate, the vapors will come here and enter this. When it will go from this condenser, that water will lower down the temperature, and if it will lower down the temperature, that vapor will again come in the form of liquid, and that liquid will collect it over here. Like this, you can use distillation as a separation technique. I think it is clear to you. See, this is the original picture. Clear? I think everything is clear to you. If you are having any doubt, you can ask me. So in this video, what we have done separation of mixture of one solid and one liquid. Thank you and Sai Ram.